Welcome to ISE 2023. I'm Simon, VP of Product at Airtame, and I want to show you a little demonstration of all the things that the Airtame platform can do for you. Since our beginning, we've been doing screen sharing across any platform. Let me show you how that works. So I'll pick up my laptop, I'll find the screen that I want to connect to, and simply open the Airtame app, find the button that says Share Screen, and then within one click in 1 second, I'm sharing content to the large display. So now I can show presentations or other material for my students, peers, or colleagues to make sure that I can transfer information really easily. We do screen sharing across all platforms, but we actually have a new experience that we're showing off for the first time here at ISE. So I'm going to show you a little new app that we have built that works directly in your browser. So if I stop my screen share here, open up my browser and go into app.airtame.com, I can just look for a pairing code on the screen, type that in, 3FD5F, hit the share screen button, and now I get asked if I want to share my entire screen or just a window. And within seconds, I'm sharing to the screen without installing anything on my machine. So if you have guests coming in or people with locked down laptops, this is the quickest way to get them to screen share to your displays. Nothing to plug into your computer and nothing to install. So that's the screen sharing. Since we added that in the beginning of our journey, we've also been the first wireless screen sharing product to add digital signage to all of your displays. So both your Airtame 2 devices and our new product, the Airtame Hub, can show digital signage on all of your screens. Let me show you how that works as well. So if I go into the Airtame Cloud, I can see a visual overview of all the screens that I have in my organization, and I can set up content to run on those screens. So if I pick a screen in here, click on Edit Settings, I can see playlists and schedule playlists that can be set at certain times of the week or certain events you have coming up. You can schedule those to show up. If I edit any of the playlists, I can see the content integrations that we have built in the Airtame Cloud, so you can really easily show your slideshows, your videos, and your images from the file systems you're already using on any display. If you use a third-party CMS, content management system, that can also be integrated into your screens through the Airtame Cloud. So that was the screen sharing and the digital signage. Now let me show you the newest addition to the Airtame portfolio, which is the video conferencing integrations into Teams and Zoom. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, open the Airtame application, and find the device that I want to start a call on. Click on the Join Call button, and now the Airtame application has already been logged into my personal calendar account. So all the meetings that has a meeting link to Teams or Zoom in my personal calendar will show up in the Airtame app. No need to invite the room, just log up to a screen with the Airtame Hub and start your video meetings within seconds. So in the app, you can see that I have a link to both a Zoom meeting and a Microsoft Teams meeting, and there's a Join Call button next to each of them. So I'm going to click Join Call on the Teams meeting, and now the Airtame Hub calls out into that Teams call. So your laptop doesn't have to do any of the heavy lifting. The call is running on Airtame Hub, giving you a really good call performance, a really good experience, even in conference conditions like this where there's a lot of wireless interference. The experience for the people in the other end is the regular Teams or Zoom experience, but here on the Airtame Hub you have an optimized view for the larger screen. If I want to share my screen into the call, I simply click on the button within the Airtame application, and again, with one click and 1 second, I'm sharing into both the local meeting room, but also onto the call. Another new experience we're showing off here at ISE is the ability for anyone else in the meeting room to share their screen into the call without actually joining the call. So if I had a colleague walking in that needed to share, can simply open up their laptop, find the screen that they need to share to. So now I started the call on this Airtame Hub, but if another user needs to share their screen, they simply go in like they would if it was a local meeting, find the meeting room, click Share Screen, little pin code shows up, type that in, make sure you're in the room so you don't share to a different room, and now you see that my screen share from the other laptop showing up on the display, and that's also put into the call so the people in the other end can follow. So that's a really smooth way to have hybrid meetings. I can start a call from my laptop, but any of my colleagues in the room can share their screen as well without having to join the call, mute themselves, turn down their speakers, and all of these things that you might have tried in a hybrid meeting before. That's the high-level overview of the Airtame platform. So screen sharing from any platform, now even without installing any software. Digital signage that scales to all of your displays with the content that you already own in your organization. And video conferencing that supports both Teams and Zoom. And we'll be adding more services in the future, so you can have any video meeting with a good experience, low latency, and high performance. I hope you enjoyed getting the overview of the Airtame platform for screens. Please reach out to us on airtame.com if you want to learn more, and thank you for tuning in.